What's up guys, Sub-Zero here. Today we are VOD reviewing someone for the first time ever. This is Emily Wang. I've never done a VOD review from Emily before. She's always been sort of like up there, high elo, done well at some tournaments, not been at the level of consistency as someone like, like Dish Soap and Robin Songs and Kurum at like the top level, Setsuko, blah, blah, blah. But always been someone who's like very high elo and has at times been one of the best players in North America. And right now might be one of those times. She's gone on a crazy climb on the ladder recently, gained like 500 LP in like 2 days, basically. She's absolutely been smurfing it. Here, I'll make my head disappear for a second so you can see her scores on today's stream. 3.1 average, 21112. Like, she's actually beasting it right now. So wanted to watch some VODs of Emily to see what she's doing differently from everyone else on the ladder right now and how she is climbing so hard. She's an Earth player, so for all the TF haters out there, which I believe there are a lot of, you don't have to worry about her playing Twisted Fate or anything like that. She also has this interesting opener this game where she's got the Echo, she's got the Oriana, could even be potentially a Piltover opener if she hits a Vi. And like Earth, she could go Noxus Crest here, but she doesn't actually have any Noxus units. Probably the Ancient Archives. So this is an interesting tailor if she wants to pop Tome, and she does pop Tome immediately. So yeah, she has the Choke Hail, which a lot of people like, and then the Echoin, which brings you up to 7. A little bit awkward, right? Because you want to be at sort of like the 6, 8, 10 breakpoints. Ideally, you don't want to be at 7, but it does add more traits. So she has Bruiser, Rogue, Slayer, Zon, Demacia, Piltover, and Void. Ones that you probably don't want here are, Rogue's not amazing, and Zon can be good in certain situations, but it's not amazing. And all the rest of them are quite solid. Piltover, even in this spot, can give her that Piltover that she wants. She actually hits this is a pretty interesting option. It's probably not Ixtal or Rogue, but Bruiser versus Shurima Emblem. It's probably Bruiser in this spot just because it's easier to play from here. We don't actually have Shurima units, but Shurima Emblem is very powerful, so I wouldn't be shocked if she takes that. I'd probably lean Bruiser here, though. But it should be interesting to see what she takes in this position here, because yeah, both very solid options, and she does opt to just go Bruiser here. Now, it'll be interesting as well to see what she ends up trying to play from here. It looks almost like a Cho'Gath angle. The problem is we have one Cho'Gath at 2-1. She did just decide to sell bench and make 10, so it does look like she's potentially angling for Cho here. She has pretty good items for Cho as well. She's got half of Declaw, half of potentially Bramble Vest. Bramble a little bit lower prio recently, but still solid. I would imagine you'd just sell the Kale here for Malzahar, but yeah, she's not actually interested in Mal's hair. She does end up getting Mal's too anyway, so I guess it's all good regardless. But yeah, interesting that she didn't want to hold Mal's pair there. Maybe she wanted to hold the Kale for what? Potentially Cho Kale angle, maybe? I don't know. If anyone remembers back in PBE, Joe Bookmark was passionate that Cho Kale was going to be a broken comp, and it was never good. So just another check on the list. Don't believe Joe Bookmark's lies. All I'm saying. We're gonna make 10 here. Hold on to the Kale pair here. I guess we'll get like the Oriana in next round for Sork. Maybe a Void if we hit it. We do have this Kassadin now. Just ends up getting a Renekton in here, and she could sell the Echo at this point for the Kassadin. I'm curious. She wants to Lost Streak at this point. Echo actually does kill units. Like, her board's slightly weaker than it could be, but I guess she actually wants to Lost Streak in this position. That's why she's going for this. But yeah, with 3 units, you might not want to actually play Cho'Gath reroll from this spot. Like, you only have, I guess you have 5 units kind of because you have Malzahar too, like 1 Cho, 1 Renekton, and then 3 Malzes. But Malz is like the least crucial unit to this reroll comp, and 1 Cassiopeia. I assume you just go for some kind of like tank item here, like a Declaw. She's gonna go Bow, actually. Wow. For what? I don't know. I guess I have to imagine then with Bow here, which makes a lot of sense in the context of a certain line, which I haven't actually talked about on my channel. I was talking to someone in a coaching session. Oh my god, the Rexa here is amazing. About this line, it's just sort of like fast 7, fast 8 bruisers. This is something I've seen a lot more people play recently. A lot of people in the past are always like, oh, you hit Bruiser Spat, you're playing Cho reroll. Also, Cho was, kind of broken for a very long time, so that's another reason why people were sort of like angling that way. But nowadays, I'm seeing a lot more of this sort of like Cho Neela comp. So it's sort of the 6 Bruiser plus Neela plus Ash fits in really well with Sejuani. And so I'm imagining that's what the bow is going towards. She's trying to... She's yapping about this Malzahar not being able to kill a unit. But yeah, she's going to angle towards that, I imagine, and then just take the bow so that she can make an RFC, potentially. Leaving the Renekton or Vi here, isn't it? Oh, she's actually going to go all out and sell the Malzahar here. A little bit scary, but it does help sort of guarantee a loss here, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, she is just going to go for the full 5 loss here. It didn't look like anyone was griefing. Like, this player is the player I think she had to worry about the most, and it didn't even look like they were going to try to grief her loss streak. So kind of odd, but I mean, all right, yeah, I mean, you'll take the free 5 loss for sure. 64 HP is not healthy, I would say, but it's not bad. Man, she is so emotive. Honestly, incredible streamer and incredibly good at the game. Like, there's only one other streamer in all of TFT that I can think has that level of entertainment value and skill. And I'll just leave you guys to figure out who that is. Let me know in the comments down below. You know what's great about those videos where I ask you guys like your thoughts about stuff is like people juice the comments super hard by like commenting a bunch of stuff. Do that to this video. Go comment and tell me who you think that streamer is, because that will like make more people click on the video for some reason. YouTube algorithm stuff. In any case, we already have 5 Bruiser. We need to high roll a Sejuani here. She's going to hold on to the Quinn, which is actually like a pretty cool item holder potentially. The big issue here is we got to double Rod here, which now sort of pulls us back towards potentially playing some kind of AP angle, but then we took the bow. Her items are actually quite awkward in this spot. It's going to be interesting to see how she can potentially get bailed out here, because she's sitting here with 6 components on bench, but like, what do you even slam here? I don't think there's actually a really clear slam in this spot. You want to hold the bow for like RFC. You don't really want to make anything out of these rods. Maybe like a crown guard for Sejuani or something. Like, you don't want Ionic Spark either. Martyr seems really, really solid in this comp. You could take Big Grab Bag to sort of fix your items, but Martyr seems so good that it feels hard for me to pass this up here. Interesting to see what she takes, because Big Grab Bag would help fix her items a bit, but I mean, Martyr in potential 6 Bruiser, I mean, it seems so good. Yeah, just gonna reroll that, and yeah, just take the Martyr. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. In a level here, I would probably be interested in just not rolling in this position and just fast 7ing it at 3-5. And she does end up making the Crown Guard, which I think is the only slam that really seems reasonable. Like I called out, she slams it onto Vi, which makes a lot of sense because Vi is probably gonna be the Bruiser we cut. You can cut Vi, you can cut Renekton, but that means you're potentially not playing Shurima later. But like, I think if she's gonna play the version that I'm thinking of, the Neela version, then I imagine that she doesn't really care about getting Shurima in. So it's interesting on the Vi, because if you're playing that version, I think the unit that you would cut on level 8 or 9, depending on when you hit the Scion, would be Renekton. I think Vi is a better unit than Renekton. She provides you Shred, which comes from Freljord, but like her getting the cast on early to potentially like guarantee the Shred when you might not have the Shred yet from Freljord seems really valuable. So interesting that she puts it on Vi. It's also potentially she's just putting it on a solid unit, right? It was Vi 1, but now she's at Vi 2. She's 37 HP though. This is a really dicey game, potentially. 37 here, full loss streak. She's got to hit on this roll down here. She does see a bow on Carousel, so that can be RFC. There's also a Sejuani with D-Claw. Oh my god, this Carousel. Yeah, I think you have to take the Sedge with D-Claw. This means that you don't get RFC, which feels a little bit bad. But I mean, Sedge with D-Claw is a Sedge with D-Claw. You can't pass that up. So we level here, try to find one Neela, one Ashe, and then we should be okay. She finds a Mordekaiser here, which is an interesting sort of like replacement potentially for the Neela. Oh, more hair here. Gonna get the Bruiser Spat onto the Mord as well. So she's gonna play Bruiser Mord for now. I assume you make D-Claw here and you just put it onto oh, Quicksilver. Okay. So Mord with Quicksilver and Bruiser Spat. I mean, Quicksilver's a great item on Mord. Just kind of curious now what the second cloak is gonna be. I guess it could be Ionic Spark. Oh my god, she's gonna make a Gwynsu. Wow. She's really playing just to stay alive in this spot. Like, these are, I mean, they're solid items on Mord, right? And if she can get to a Mord 2, her board's actually quite strong. And oh my god, she rolls once and hits it. Oh my god. Really cool for her to see this out, though, for the Mordekaiser, sort of the replacement, and the idea to slam these items. Like, I think a lot of people in this spot would be really, like, tunnel vision on BIS in this spot, make, like, a D-Claw, and then they would have no items on this Mordekaiser here, and it would be GG's. Also, is this Mordekaiser a genius, by the way? We just autos once, then walks straight to backline. Like, what a Giga Chad. But honestly, with the Bruiser Spat, isn't this build fine? Like, you normally want an RFC, because you're, oh, I think she's actually, yeah, she's looking at the stats right now, and Delta-wise, yeah, it says RFC actually is positive Delta on that board. So she's actually, she knows, she's looking at the stats, going by what's best. And this is like, this is really cool, where, like, I think it actually makes sense. You don't really need RFC on Mordekaiser in this setup because he's actually going to be tanky enough from the Bruiser Spat. The Quicksilver is really good because he's going to sit on the front line, and the Gwynsu is going to do really well with the extra attack speed. I mean, it has to be TG here, right? Yeah, D-Claw TG. TG the... Oh, who are you even TGing here? Rek'Sai? I mean, I guess you do get a remover here. So she could have, if she wanted to, moved RFC to Mord, but like you were looking at the stats there that she had out, it actually doesn't even look much better because like I don't think you actually need Mord to be safe in these fights because he's this tanky with the bruiser spat. And he also there's also the martyr in this spot as well, which is really nice to keep Mord alive. Like look at this Mord, he's full HP. We don't need RFC. He's just gonna walk into the front line, tank whatever. And now all of a sudden 37 HP win streaking. Oh, gifts from the Fallen. I mean this augment is nerfed, but isn't it still solid in this spot? I think she's she's looking at the stats. Oh, she rerolls it. Slayer Crest. Oh. I mean, shouldn't it be Titanic Strength here? The AD with the bruisers? She's thinking between both and then just decides to go for Slayer Crest. Slayer Crest allows you to play like a much more vertical setup. I think her idea is that it's not very good on board just because like he is an AP unit, but like he's still doing a good amount of AD. I don't know. She probably looked at the stats and saw that the stats weren't that good on it. And like, I mean, if you look at Mort's damage, it's very high AP here. Like the extra AD would, I mean, it would be a lot of AD, and she has a lot of attack speed on him. It doesn't really matter how much AP damage it does, right? It just matters how many times he's autoing, and that's what scales with the AD. I think it's actually probably not that good though. Now that I think about it. Like Mord autos pretty slowly, right? Like if you look at these fights, like bonk, 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 bonk. Like I don't know, he's at 8 autos, 10 autos, 11 autos this far into the fight. So I wonder if that's actually a trap. I imagine that she looked at the stats and the stats said that it was bad, which is, I don't know, some people in the comments will probably yap and say, this is why stats suck because blah, blah, blah. She didn't do the cool thing and then go 8th with it because it's not actually as good as you think. But like, isn't this why stats is cool? Because like you get to see what's actually good, even if it like is counterintuitive. An Spark here makes perfect sense. The only really good cloak item that you can build in this position here, outside of maybe like, I don't know, an adaptive helm or something. There's another Mordekaiser in her shop here. Yeah, I think she scattered around there to see if there's any potential for Mord 3 this game. But at this point, I mean, she needs to be able to go 8. What do you actually even add on 8? Because like, obviously, ideally, you'd get like an Atrox in over this Kiana. But what's our 8? Because like, you can't actually get to 6 Slayer. There's no like 8 Bruiser or anything. So what are you looking to play here? I mean, you could still opt to go for the Freljord just to like guarantee, like you could just play an Ashe, but that seems like pretty bad. Dreama also seems pretty bad. Ideally, it's like a Heimerdinger, I guess, to give you healing reduc and also to guarantee the shred. But if we don't find Heimerdinger, I'm curious to see what she ends up actually putting in. I mean, second Mordekaiser with just 4 Slayer in, probably not terrible, which is maybe what she's looking at here. I know a lot of people love the double Mordekaiser when you're playing around Noxus, but she is 0 Noxus at this point here. And also Noxus, just too hard to fit in here, right? You'd have to fit in 2 Noxus units. I guess once you get Scion in, though, you could add a Noxus, but like 3 Noxus this late into the game is really inconsequential. It's probably not terrible, though. So yeah, find a Scion and then play like Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia actually fills out the synergies really well, and she also provides healing reduction. It's just gonna be a matter of actually finding that Cassio, I guess. But yeah, she's pulling up the stats. 6 Slayer, Mordekaiser. She is stats game. Maybe that's her secret. She is really stats gaming here, looking at all of the stats for every single option here. At this point, you can look for, oh my god, Atrox items, but like you still have to hit him, but she does immediately hit him. Finds an Azir as well to place in. She's gonna roll pretty deep here, actually, I think because she's low, and ends up actually finding the Azir. Can move Slayer Spat to the Azir, and she's just gonna opt for a Sunfire D-Blade Azir. Interesting. Holy. I mean, the Deathblade Slayer Stat Azir actually kind of woked. Like, you can put it on Aatrox, but he's going to die as Aatrox 1 pretty quickly in a lot of these fights. So it's actually potentially better on this Azir here. He's also holding on to these Neelas for, I don't know, because you can't really pivot back into Neela at this point, right? It's like you've sort of committed your board to the Slayer setup. Like, there's no way you can actually like fit Neela in easily. I guess the possibility is maybe she'll cut the Azir for Neela, but that still doesn't make sense to me either. But really cool to see the ability to duo carry this Azir as well. Like I was sort of thinking like, yeah, you could put an Azir on your board, but you're not have items for him. And she just decides to put the Slayer Spat plus the Deep Blade on him, and he's doing, 3k damage per fight. Not nothing. It's definitely a nice sort of duo carry. Also makes a lot of sense with the Onyx Spark that we already have. And at this point, I guess we're gonna go 925 HP and streaking. 2 people are already dead, so it's a top 6 already you guys know, if this game was an eighth, I wouldn't have VOD reviewed it, right? Though honestly, what if this was the VOD review where I swapped it up on you guys and I made it so that, like this game she bought for, but what a cool bot for it would be, right? I mean, wouldn't that be sick? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see more bot 4s out of me, because I don't know if I've ever VOD reviewed a bot 4 prior to maybe this game. We'll see. I know some people ask for that, but do you guys really want to see it? Like, do you really want to see a really cool game played from a streamer and then they just like bot 4? Freljord's bad for 3 Freljord's an interesting idea. She's gonna go for the Scion with JG. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's really solid. JG for 3rd Azir item and oh my god, Radiant item here. Oh fuck. What do you guys take in this spot? It looks like she's leaning towards Quinsu. Rosethorn Vest if there's a bunch of armor, like if there's a lot of other stuff in the lobby, you could just Rosethorn Vest here. She's looking to just Quinsu here though. She's only gonna get 1 remover though. So what are we doing here? I mean, yeah, I think it's got to be Gwinsu's in this spot. I don't think the Rosethorn Vest, especially in this meta, does enough. But where does it go? Like, are you? It's probably remover this and then just put the 2 items on Azir, right? Because like if you remover here, then you're stuck with T-Blade Azir. I would think. But I guess we'll see. Maybe she thinks Mord is like a more valuable carry. It looks like she does, yeah. Then where does this JG go? It's so okay. She does end up going for this. Yeah. I think it has to be, right. What a cool decision though, having to decide which unit you're gonna remove her there. That's interesting. Her entire chat saved. They're like, what you gotta do? But like, it's definitely interesting because like, if you think like Mordekaiser is the more important unit, which like you certainly could, like there is an argument to be made for just going for Gigabis on, like if Mordekaiser was like 10 times more OP than Azir was, then you could actually make the argument for putting it onto Mordekaiser and then just like putting whatever onto Azir. But I don't think that's actually the case here. I think Azir actually does a lot of work on the 6 Bruiser board with all of the stall that you have. So I think this actually makes a lot of sense. So really cool decision there. And she is absolutely smurfing with this board now. This Azir doing a ton of work. The Astrox even doing some work. Like really cool how she built together like a pretty flexible board, right? This is not a board that you usually see. Like at the start of this game, I was calling up the potential Neela board, but then seeing the Mordekaiser angle, seeing the items that you could slam on Mordekaiser, the Gwinsu Quicksilver, and then also seeing the potential just play Mordekaiser instead of Neela in the first place, really cool. Because like, I mean, this is what makes really good players really good at TFT. We don't have a Morello. Oh no, we have Sunfire already, so you don't really need a Morello. What's our lobby look like? AD. I'm not gonna like pause and go back, but like, it could be Declaw if there's enough AP. That's 2 AP players. There's 2 AP players, 1 AD player, and then I didn't see the rest. But yeah, I mean, it's gotta be Declaw then, right? Like there's the other items don't really do much for you. I guess you could take the armor shred one and have your autos do some extra damage, which isn't nothing, right? Like let's see how much AD damage we do in this fight. Also, is Sedge gonna carry? Oh, not at all. Also, we do like no AD damage, by the way. 12 HP. Oh my god. This game is really close. She's just gonna roll it down here, actually. Wow. I think, oh my god, I think she saw that she's sort of like uncontested in these 4 costs. Also, she's like interested in hitting Scion here. And she doesn't think that she could have, like, did she have enough gold to go 8 there? Because it's, what is it? It's, she's 78 gold. She can go 8 here, or she can go 9, right? But she opts to not go 9 in this spot and just roll it down here. She has 1 Sedge. And opts to potentially hit 3-star 4 cost. I just saw someone had Sedge on their bench there. It's an interesting idea to just not, I mean, yeah, the problem is like, what are you going 9 for here? Like she has a random Belveth that she can add. I think her idea is that like going 9 doesn't really add much here. It could add like that Heimerdinger eventually, which could add a ton of damage to her board. Like a triple Burno Heimerdinger is just like a damage dealer. Yeah, it's an interesting idea to roll there versus go 9. I think, I don't know, it definitely feels like going 9 made the most sense to me, but I think unless she's like trying to deny someone's 3-star 4 cost, but it doesn't look like there's anything that she held. Okay, she actually finally manages to hit the Scion too, so it ends up all being worth it here. She hits the Scion, and she's gonna hold on to all of this stuff and then move the items over by selling the Evi. So now she has a Scion 2 on her board. It is a top 4 at this point. Ooh, she moved a Zero up 1 hex? I don't know what that was. I think she did, I don't think she meant to do that. I'm not really sure how that even happened, but all good. This fight actually looks really easy. It's a pretty good matchup for us, right? We have so much sustained DPS versus this this Cho'Gath that like it's actually completely fine. So that's a dub there, and now it is a top 2. 1 more item off carousel. She goes for the Noxus spat just to finish out Noxus on. Oh, and it's on a Mordekaiser, I didn't realize. Oh, that's another Mordekaiser. But, like, there's no way she's finding that many Mordekaisers in this many rolls. And who does this even go on? Just, like, yeah, Atrox? Or 3 Noxus? I mean, it's something. You could... The other option, like I was thinking about earlier, was, like, a Freljord. But, like, it doesn't do too much here until you get to, like, 3 Freljord. But it's hard to fit 3 Freljord in here. So, this is going to be the final fight. Is 3 Noxus Spike enough? Yo, the Azir actually went on to backline there. Actually huge than the Aatrox doing damage here. I think that's actually a dub for her. Yeah, the Sejuani's too tanky, and it is a first for Emily Wang. Another first on this insane day she's been having. Really, really cool VOD. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below about all that stuff I was talking about. Who you guys think the funniest and best TFT streamer is? Do you guys want me to bot 4 more games? Do you want to see me review more bot 4 games? And then also just like comment for the algorithm, please. Like it's actually too OP. All right, and also check out my links down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.